Hey everyone, this is PrinceWatercress, and welcome back to Let's Play Gunstar Heroes for the Sega Genesis and Mega Drive. We're now flying in space, and we're destroying all these enemies, and I forgot to hold the B button down because those were enemies. Having Double Chaser here is still the better weapon compared to Lightning Plus Chaser, simply because it is easier to take on a lot of the enemies without having to think very often. All you really have to do is just watch out for any projectiles. Try not to stay in one space or one spot for too long, rather, in certain parts. Obviously, we're shooting down enemies. Some of them will take a lot more effort to take down than others, but some will go down fairly quickly, too. And the quicker the better with some of them, because some of them can fire at you. And shortly after the stage begins, you face Timuron again, which is kind of interesting. Now, Timuron is really more of an endurance mode. You have to see how long you can last without dying, and the longer you last, the more points you get. I just shoot Timuron down because really, I don't feel like dealing with it. And now, it's time to avoid asteroids and avoid being shot by this thing, which is harder than it should be because, guess what? For some dumb reason, the asteroids are indestructible, and they just bounce around in different directions when you shoot them for long enough. I'm pretty sure that's not exactly how asteroids work. And now you got these things coming out in different directions of the screen. Some of them shoot out bigger projectiles, which I'm not exactly a big fan of. Thankfully, I had a little better time there, but I lost a lot of health. I lost like 90 points of vitality at this point, and I really didn't want to. And now, it's time to slowly make our way up and down to make sure that these blue laser beams don't hit us, and we also want to take care of these things as well. And eventually, we're going to have to maneuver around these, what looks like these red laser beams coming down from the spaceships. But thankfully, that's a lot easier. And this guy gives us some health. This is the only spot of health that we're going to get at this point in the entire game, which I'm not exactly a big fan of. Now, we have guys that are hiding behind the asteroids. You want to make sure they're in front of you before you shoot them, so therefore you don't get shot at horribly, or you don't have asteroids moving right into you, which I just don't like. And I do want to take this thing down, but once again, we got asteroids, so that's out of the question. Same with this thing. Or maybe not, because the asteroids stop showing up right after the second one appears. And these yellow things just move away from you after they show up. So just stay in the center and you should be okay. And now we need to remember to use the dash and shoot. That thing will eventually go away. But now we gotta deal with some turrets. Ow! Took some damage I didn't want to take. Thanks, game. And now we gotta destroy this 1,000mm gun. Shouldn't be too hard. If any of these shots split into 8, just be sure to position yourself so that the split shots don't hit you. And there will be missile pods shooting out missiles. I am doing very, very horribly now. Great. I nearly got hit there. Go me. Apparently, you got 2 split shots before the third one just moves to the other side, apparently. And now we got all these enemies just being in the way. Want to avoid being hit by the fireballs while destroying these turrets. A lot easier when you have Double Chaser, because you can destroy all these enemies and destroy the turrets and avoid the fire at the same time. And I was wrong. You can get some health here as well. Nice. And we got quite a few enemies coming at us, but we should be able to take everything on screen down. And we didn't destroy the pod. I'm not very happy about that, but we did destroy that second one. And we are just mowing these things down at this rate. Of course, we got 6 missiles. You want to dash to the front after, or rather to the right after the first 3. Take down the next 3, and then move back to the left to take down the last one, which will shoot lasers. And now you've gotten set in 7 Force here. Watch what he does. Make sure he doesn't run into you. Move carefully to avoid being shot by the gun form. Make sure the tail disc doesn't hit you. Make sure the lasers of this form doesn't hit you. Be sure to run rings around the bird form. Make sure that red form comes nowhere near you. Avoid the mines that it fires. Avoid these projectiles. Thankfully, it's a 3-way shot, and it's rather easy to avoid than you would think. This isn't so bad with Double Chaser. You may have a harder time with other weapons, though. And 73 health. That's not exactly what I consider to be ideal. Well, at least it's giving me this form again, so I can easily avoid getting shot at. And there we go. We've taken care of 7 Force for a second time. And now it's time for this area. Let's make it to the right as much as possible. We'll eventually have to deal with some of these mini-boss style enemies. I want to get that health and keep as many of these guys away from me as possible. I do not want you near me. Go away. I don't think you guys know what go away means. I don't know why I walked into you. You leaped into the air, so they were easier to take down. And I now have 1,000,000 points and 93 vitality. So let's go through this door. And this, I feel, is where the game, this stage, not the game, but this stage kind of wears its welcome out a little bit. This boss has 3 forms. You know the hammer, you know the dragon, and you know the runner. We're obviously going to deal with the hammer form first. We want to avoid getting shot at. And now it's doing the thing now. When it goes down like that and starts swinging around really fast, you're going to be playing jump rope. And you want to stay still, hold up, press jump when this thing approaches you. It does get faster and faster. And thankfully, I'm able to keep doing damage with Double Chaser, so that's a thing. And yeah, when it starts going up like that, you definitely want to avoid being crushed by it, because it will hurt if it does. And there's the hammer form done. Now it's time for dragon. I should have stayed out of the center. I got hit because of that. Yeah, stay out of the center. That way you don't get hit. And there's a dragon form. This thing will move all around and shoot out blue fireballs that you want to avoid. Like so. Slide if you can. Keep firing Double Chaser. Try to get whatever shots in you can if you don't. I am just pushing it here. Why did I do that? Why did I do that? Well, at least if I continue, I just go back to the hallway before this. I don't have to do the space flying thing anymore. So that's a relief, I guess. Hey. There we go. And now it's time for the runner form. But first, you have to avoid having these things run into you, and you have to keep destroying them too. I'm not exactly a big fan of that part. I sometimes get hit at least once. And now here's the runner. The runner will stay in the background, go back and forth between the background and where you are, and you want to avoid the projectiles. 1, 2, 3. Okay, that first one went high, so the second one's going to come directly to ground level. It alternates. All we have to worry about... Why did I do that? All I have to worry about now is not running into the arm. I don't know why I did that. Next one I jump over. I guess I had the feeling I was going to get hit by the arm. This would probably be a little faster if I had Lightning Chaser. But you know what? We got this battle as good as won. Ow. And now his head is on fire. And now he explodes. And so does the core guard unit. And the next stage, we have a lot more vitality. And we're also going to have a boss rush mode. But that will have to wait until the next video. Join me next time where we take on this boss rush mode style stage. Until then, this is PrinceWatercress. Take care, stay safe, and thanks for watching!